Hello! Today I've got this 70s wallpaper inspired nail art tutorial for you. Because, I don't know, I just wanted to do something fun, I guess. So yeah, I started out with a pale minty green shade. And then went on to some acrylic paint. I picked 3 colors. And then a tiny little nail art brush. Incidentally, the same type of brush that I like to use for eyeliner these days, but that's beside the point. Anyway, yeah, what I did is just look up a bunch of 70 wallpaper looks. Yeah, just googled it, really easy. There's really a lot of different designs, yeah, like really ranging from like easy to really difficult. I pretty much picked the designs that I had in mind, like the more, hard to describe, sort of modern 70s like style. Like the more straight lines, well not really straight lines, but you know, clear images, rather than the like flower wallpaper with really detailed, realistic flowers, because it's slightly beyond my current skill level, pretty much. So yeah, I'm not very good at painting flowers, so you know, I might do that at a later point in time once I've practiced, but for now I thought I'd just stick with what I can, you know, do with ease, which is this. So yeah, one thing that stood out to me about all the patterns, by the way, was they usually have like 3 or 4 colors and not more, and also they sort of repeat themselves. Like the type of patterns I chose, at least, like the more, yeah, again, modern-ish 70s style. They just sort of repeat themselves, so that's what I also try to do on all the nails, just pick a pattern and then repeat it. And this first one was actually the most sort of difficult-ish one. With this sort of thing, I just think it's easiest to start in the center and then work outwards. And also, obviously, I did edit the shapes a little bit. Simply because, obviously, the actual things were on a wallpaper, and wallpaper is usually a lot bigger than a nail. You know, walls being usually bigger than nails as well. So yeah, I did edit them a little to make them fit on my nails without having to go into very tiny details, because these are already pretty detailed and there's only so small you can go with a brush, obviously. Yeah, it also sort of depends on how good your acrylic paint is if you're using acrylic paint. My acrylic paint, well, it was the cheapest one they had for 12 bottles, so obviously it wasn't the best one. As you can see, I do need to layer it quite a bit to get it to be opaque, so I can't make very tiny lines with it, because it just won't show then. So yeah, so I sort of, you know, like try to do like small parts of the pattern and just edit them in a way like, you know, that it would fit on my nails. You could also use nail polish, by the way, for this. The thing is, well, for a start, I didn't like, well, actually I do think I have these shades in nail polish, come to think of it. But the thing with nail polish is, if you make a mistake, then that's final, you've made a mistake, and you can't erase it unless you, like, you know, really redo the entire nail, like take everything off and do everything from the base to the nail art all over again. Yeah, which is obviously not the preferred way to do things, at least not to me. So yeah, just use acrylic paint, because if you do make a mistake or just don't like the pattern you've picked, once it's on your nails, you can just go wash your hands and acrylic paint will just wash off in water. Also, if you used a top coat on top of the base color, you could just scrape it off very carefully once it's dry. So yeah, more than enough options. And yeah, so back to the talking about the patterns actually. So on the first nail I decided to do sort of a flower pattern, then on the second nail a wavy pattern, and for the third nail I wanted to do a sort of a pattern with sort of rounded off squares. I don't know, I saw it and it immediately caught my attention. Yeah, and another thing I like about the 70s wallpaper style, it's like it repeats itself. There is a pattern in it, but it's not very... By the way, sorry if you can hear a noise in the background. My neighbors are working on their house again. Anyway, but it does repeat itself, but you know, you can be creative with the colors, like you don't have to do the same range of colors each and every time. So yeah, what I did here, I just sort of randomly picked the colors for each squared off or rounded off square. Yeah. And then on my pinky finger and my thumbnail I did something different. On my pinky finger I just pretty much made dots with the colors that I picked, because I find the nail a little bit too small to really do a whole pattern on it. but I did want it to fit with the rest of the nails. And then on my thumbnail I decided to paint 70's in orange. I had to paint halfway upside down, so that's why it looks sort of crooked. Just to, like, you know, just make the theme all the more clear. And then I decided to also add some flowers around it. Just very simple flowers made up of stripes and then a dot in the center. Seemed to fit with the wallpaper patterns very well. And then once everything was completely dry, and do really wait until it's completely dry, then I added top coat. I used the Catrice More top coat, which, as the name suggests, is a matte top coat, but with something more. It has sort of a pearlescent shine in it. Also is my only matte top coat, otherwise I might have used a completely matte one, but yeah, still really nice. You can see it go matte here. In reality it actually takes about 2 minutes, but I sped it up for you. And then that's the final look. Well, as you could probably tell from my chattering, I really enjoy doing these nails. I don't know, something about the pattern just makes me happy. So yeah, either way, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye! To paint at such a small size, really, in only silhouettes. But I think it sort of worked, and then I sort of as an afterthought